Well, the game's pretty much over. Obviously, I know there's like a minute as I'm making this video left, but that turned off the TV because I know this will mess up the lighting and whatnot. But Lakers get swept by the Dallas Mavericks, and I just got to tip my hat off and say congrats. Congratulations to the Dallas Mavericks on sweeping, kicking our asses. This was really just one of those series is you just got to kind of laugh it off. It's as sad as embarrassing as this is. The Lakers definitely weren't playing at all, anywhere close to what we're used to seeing. Laker fans have definitely been spoiled. First of all, recapping some of the series. Game one, it was starting really well, and you saw Dallas looks like they were going to make their mistakes at the end of halftime. But suddenly the Lakers just kind of let that lead slip, and they let Dallas back in this game, giving Dirk open shots. Really horrible defensive collapse, and specifically Lamar Odom in those final minutes. It was just something like he had a brain fart or something. Just didn't see a whole lot in this team. So Dallas steals game one off some late buckets, and just the Lakers got cold. It's poor shot selection, poor defense, whatever you want to say. Um, and then in game two, it was just flat out quitting. The shots were cold, were horrible. Couldn't even hit a three until really late in the game while Dallas once again dominated. And you really have to just give your credit to the Mavs. They dominated on every aspect of the game. The bench, specifically the Dallas bench of J.J. Barea. You got, of course, Jason Terry, who's been on the bench. Used to be Stackhouse back in the day. Now it's Jason Terry. And then Peja Stojakovic. Those guys off the bench are playing rock solid. And you just got to tip your hat to them. The Lakers bench was definitely quiet, didn't do a damn thing. Steve Blake was, I think he was like shut out in one of the games. And it was really poor, just poor game two. But whatever Laker fans were booing when they were down by six in the fourth quarter, whoever was booing at the team, you all need to just get off and not be a Laker fan because any fan of the team should not be booing their own in situations like those. Laker fans have been spoiled. I can admit with that. I can admit there's a lot of fake fans out in this world, and when a team wins, I understand the concept of that, but that's really poor. Just go out and buy a Mavericks jersey already if you're going to do that. So game two was dominated once again by the Mavericks, and then in game three, the Lakers had a lead, as much as by 8 or 9 points the third quarter, but then once again they let it slip. There were some horrible plays in the fourth quarter. Dallas was making their shots when they needed to, and the Lakers defense just left guys wide open, whether it was Jason Terry, whether it was Dirk Nowitzki, just wide open shots left and right, and that's going to cost you. The Dallas Mavericks have great jump shooting. I can agree it's pretty hard to defend Dirk because he's 7 foot, but there's still just a lot of open shots that were left, and the Lakers did not use their size up front. Uh, Still, you got to just give it all, just give all your props to the Mavericks for the way they played the series. You can say that maybe the motivation was a big factor as to why the Lakers lost, but Dallas wanted it in every point and every aspect because they know the history for the last decade for them. I know it's been a very hard time to be a Mavericks fan and player for them, but the fact that they're an underdog and they can play with some adrenaline and some swagger, they definitely showed it out there in this game four, in the end of game three. It's pretty much a summary of the Lakers regular season. Was they would lose these mediocre games or lose to these teams that are unacceptable, even getting blown out by bad teams. And when you're playing a good team like the Mavericks, and they're definitely a contender now, there's you just lie flat, and it's really sad to see this team quit and for Phil Jackson's sake fall flat on their faces. I think I know the Mavs have been fighting these demons for a while. I think Eric Dampier was the biggest curse for the Mavericks. And since he's no longer on the team, and you have guys like Sean Marion and Tyson Chandler down low, they've been a lot better. And you got to give your props to them and just hand it to them. JJ Barea was he gifted JJ Barea definitely got on my map when they beat the Spurs back in '09. I saw that's really a good bench player they have. I know one of the underrated. That going looking back at game three and other times that Gasol was soft, Bynum was soft, everyone on the Lakers was just cold, and nothing was coming through shot selection wise. Odom just has something up in the head. It was like turnovers, and just a ton of mental mistakes. I mean, what can you say? This was flat out domination in every aspect. You see Pau Gasol being confronted by Phil Jackson, and I know fans are definitely going to give Gasol the heat, but all we can do is thank him for what he's done and what he's done for this team. The Lakers wait to the finals for 3 straight years before this one being on the team, and it's pretty hard to do that. It's pretty hard to even go twice in a row to make the finals in this league. But they were able to do it 3 years in a row, win two of them, and I think the Lakers themselves were satisfied that they already had 2 rings. I guess they didn't need a third necessarily. But the Mavericks just outplayed us, humiliated, embarrassed, just thrashed. I don't know what words you can use. Insert verbs and adjectives here. The Mavs were just a better team and a lot more rock solid. I got to just tip my hat to them, and I know I've said that a lot, but their bench was owning us, just owning us throughout this series, and it showed. It just the last game. It was only fitting how Jason Terry was hitting shots left and right. Of course, Peja Stojakovic. He's been waiting years for this moment, more than 10 years. I know he was on that Kings team in the past. Him and Turkoglu were the two guys who've been losing to the Lakers over the years. Of course, Turkoglu still hasn't done it because he was on the Spurs in '04, and I know the Magic in '09. But Stojakovic finally gets his chance to beat the Lakers in the playoffs, and congrats to Dirk. Definitely Jason Kidd and Dirk are overdue. They really deserve the ring for all they've done in this league over the years, and they have a very good shot. It's very legit. Whoever they face between the Grizzlies and the Thunder, I wish them the best of luck. I have no hate for the Mavericks or their players. I know they've had a lot of suffering over the years. So, congrats to Dallas, and just really summarizing the rest of this Lakers team. This is most likely Phil Jackson's last game as a coach for the Lakers. I can only thank him for what he's done, just like I can only thank Pau Gasol for what he's done for us. You can't you can't win every year. I know Laker fans are spoiled with that, but I've just come to accept to be humbled. Eventually, losing's going to happen, and situations like these, it just happens. Guys have their down years like Gasol did. Fisher definitely was not playing as well this year, but can only thank Phil Jackson for what he did to this team. Obviously, the early three-peat with Shaq and Kobe, and of course Robert Horry and the many guys in the past. He took obviously that last game that he supposedly had in '04, the last series. He wrote that book about Kobe, but then he returns all of a sudden a year later after the Lakers didn't make the playoffs, and he took them to the postseason with guys like Kwame Brown and Smush Parker. You can once again only thank him for what he's done, because those teams from 2005, 2006, 2007, they weren't going anywhere, and Phil Jackson even took them to the playoffs, despite losing to the Suns in back-to-back years. I know that definitely sucked at the time, but I support this team, and I'm a Laker fan till I die. I'm not one of those who's gonna whine and bitch about losing. The, I have no problem with accepting this defeat, and sure I'm mad at my team in the short term, but the Lakers they're not there right now. It's just quitting. There's a difference between losing and straight up quitting, and I know Dallas fans, you know what quitting is like. You got to see that from obviously the Texas Longhorns and the Dallas Cowboys this year. There was the signs of quitting this season from them. So I get to kind of share that feeling now of quitting from this Lakers team. The way they played this game 4, it was just like it's a Division II college team going out there, and I just wondered, was this a Lakers team, or was I watching some high school team playing out there in Dallas? Seems like they should just be walking back on Interstate 20 and Interstate 10 to get back home to LA. But really, thank you, Phil Jackson, and thanks for the memories. That's all I can say. Congrats to Dallas. I'm a Laker fan for life. But I'll see you guys later, and as always, go Lakers. But times like these, definitely not very pretty. Dallas was the better team, and that's an understatement. I don't know what kind of word you can use. Sublime, I guess. They were the much better team, and I tip my hat off to them, and good luck the rest of the way. Go Lakers, and thanks for the memories, Phil Jackson. We'll see you guys later.